What do we? What? It's the YouTube channel, right?
YouTube channel, yep.
You text it to me?
UAC All Stars.
Okay.
All right. Welcome to episode 6, everybody, of the UAC United Against Cancer All-Star Podcast. This is probably one of the best podcasts we could possibly have. We got all fractions of the AAU circus in here, from the independents to the big timers. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. Coach Sean, since you was in here first, you can go ahead and introduce yourself first.
Hi, Tonio Wiltz, man. I run Old Gold Basketball. We've been around 21 years. Been one of the top independent programs for most of that time. Just enjoy doing what I do, and always look forward to the competition against the good programs.
Jay Brown.
Is Jay Brown, founder of Young and Reckless Y&R. Been approaching, this is about to be year 10. So it's a milestone for me. Had no intentions on having a program this long, but we've been trying to do the right thing and help kids. We do it for the love of the game and for the love of the kids. So.
Coach Ty.
Yeah, this is Ty Streets, Mean Streets Basketball. Yeah, I think me and Antonio started about the same time. It's my 21st year doing it. It's gotten bigger and bigger, a lot more teams in it. And we do it same thing you guys do it for the love of the game, for the kids, try to make them better individuals.
Okay.
All right, Coach Irvin.
Man, it's Mike Irvin from Mac Irvin Fire. Been doing it. Took over the program probably, 2005 or something. So that'll put me at almost like,
10 years.
Man, what's the math on that?
16 years.
16 years. 16 years. I've been a head person for 16 years, but I've been in it for about 25 years. So, so 25 years for me.
Okay. Coach Oliver.
Coach Oliver, Team Rose. Been with Team Rose for like 13 years. Teamed up with Reggie Rose and Derrick Rose program for like 13 years now going on. Used to be part of the Bulls Foundation, and we teamed up. So like everybody else said on the podcast, do it for the love of the game. Try to help kids get to the next level.
I'm Team War. We five years in. Yeah, 5. We only 5 years. I'm still way behind the ears in this AAU stuff. So first thing first, man. Our first question of the day. What made you want to start coaching? Let's go with the coaching first. Anybody can answer.
I mean, I'll start off. I'm the youngest guy. My path was a little different. I started coaching because I dropped out of college. I was a JUCO. Had a good 2 years in my JUCO, but I started flipping houses in real estate. And I let go of the game a little too prematurely, but I was making a little bit of money, so I wanted to do something to impact the kids. I still had a love for the game, and I had a couple of dollars to kind of, maneuver a little bit. So I wanted to be a blessing to some other people. And I started off in my community, a bunch of kids from the West Side, and it just took off from there.
Yeah, myself, I really didn't think I was going to ever get into coaching and stuff, but, I used to play a lot at the Y on 63rd and Stony. And, when AAU first became popular, they just needed some volunteers. So they were asking, because they saw me out there playing all the time. They was like, man, can you come volunteer, coach? So I started doing that. And then a lot of the guys was like, hey, man, we want to get into this AAU thing. So we took a lot of the guys off the best teams from there, and threw him on the team, and then we started from there. And, I didn't think I was going to like it like that, but then, it just really started to grow on me, and I'm like, man, I'm actually pretty okay at this and stuff. So, I just kept it going from there.
But this is Mike Irvin. I started coaching because in high school I had some terrible coaches. I was a kid that had a bunch of showtime on my game where, I like to play with the basketball a little bit and have a lot of showtime. So the coaches I had, like Coach Cox over at King and Coach Cook over at CVS, they was basic coaches, and that's one thing I didn't like growing up, where coaches didn't let me be who I was. So I knew from that point on that I wanted to be a coach, from my high school days. And then, I started coaching back when I was like 19 years old at IIT. I had a pro-am team, and that's when all my boys played with me. I started coaching, and then, I won a championship over there at an early age, and I knew right then and there I want to always coach basketball and make it fun for people. Because when I was coming up, I had to, like I said, the coaches were terrible. They made me not really like it that much. So that's why I'm in, to make kids like it and have fun.
Well, this Ty Streets, I got in it. I remember going to Doug Collins' camp. Me and Carlton DeBose, who runs the grassroots department of Nike, we had teams over at Doug Collins' camp. They let the campers, the campers. We had to do the younger kids, the campers up there, and we just got competitive. We liked doing it. My team won it. I think I beat Carlton's team in the championship. But then I played NFL ball for a little bit. In my second year, I came home and bowled with my old AAU coach, the Chicago Heights Wolverines, and he had too many people on his 8th grade team. And I just said, shoot, Carlton, you wanna start this? You wanna do this, man? Let's get a team going. And we started in 2001, that one team, and then that next year we turned to 2, then it just started going from there. I ain't know it's gonna become this big, but it's become big over the years, and we just enjoy doing it. Sometimes it get a little stressful, but for the most part, we enjoy it because the kids succeed, go to college, and they become something. That's all we can ask for.
Well, with myself, Mike Oliver, Team Rose, I used to play in, like Mike Irvin said earlier, play a pro-am up at the player IIT, and I got to the point where, I was going to get paid to do this. So I started coaching. I went back to my old high school and asked if they need some volunteers, and I started volunteering for 1 year. Then this incredible spot opened up on sophomore level. I won the sophomore level. Then a lot of people don't know, me and Rob Smith from the same area, I had him the next year as my freshman coach. Then in 1994, I became the head coach at Curie. Rob became my sophomore coach. He stayed with me for 2 or 3 years. And we just started taking off, building the program at Curie, and the rest is history. This is my 29th season at Curie. I've been to AAU for like 13. I'm not a big fan of AAU, but to stay on compatible to a lot of other big programs, you got to do is AAU, or you'll lose kids to other people's. And that's basically why I started doing the AAU.
All right, so real quick, side note real quick, right? So I actually played kind of for 2 people on this podcast, right? So my first AAU venture was with Old Gold, right? So I started off with Old Gold my freshman year with Isaiah and all those guys. And then we just had a whole lot over there. And at the time, somebody had their favorites. We ain't gonna say no names, Coach Stone.
Yeah, the guy that was 6'9", that was my favorite.
we ain't gonna say no names. So he like, look, so you wanna get some reps up, you go down to the B team. To the B team? I got average 30. Okay, whatever. Go play with the B team. We beat the A team. And I'm like, can I come back to the A team? He like, no, well, we gonna have a practice. We're gonna talk about it. And they're going to play with Chris Head. While playing with Chris Head, right? I stayed around. It was the tournament. It was the Main Street tournaments at Thornton. This when OJ Mayo them came. They was looking for Derrick Rose. Where they gonna play at tie that year? You remember?
You talking
I know they
about,
didn't play in the Main Street tournament.
No, OJ and them? No, they didn't play in the Main Street tournament. I don't know where
they came, they played. So Tatum was kind of short on their 17U team with Javon Catron and all those guys. So he come over and say, "Hey, young fella, you want to hoop?" I say, "Yeah, sure. I don't care." And I ended up playing with Javon Catron and all those guys. That's that one tournament. So I actually got to play for two of these guys on this podcast. But I won the national championship with the Illinois Hawks. Next question. What are some hindrances, some things you had to get over coming into this AAU thing? This AAU thing is tough, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It's I tell people all the time, AAU is almost like game banging sometimes. So what are some obstacles, some hurdles you had to overcome in this AAU game?
With us, man, it's just with Team Rose, man, a lot of stuff I have to overcome and hurdles is kids just being loyalty. You know, most of our kids don't pay, but being loyalty, and I come to find out, you know, one reason why I'm not a big fan of it, that there's no rules. They just could jump from team to team, and I come to find out wherever team that week is going out of town or going the furthest, big tournaments, that's where kids want to go. So I had to figure out where do I want them 5-star superstar guys that is hard to coach, or I just want some kids that want an opportunity to showcase themselves, be put on a platform, and go to college. You know, in the last 4 or 5 years, we're not looking for like the Duke guys or North Carolina guys. We just want guys who want an opportunity to play on a nice AAU circuit and get an opportunity to go to college free. So that's one of my biggest things. I don't think it's enough loyalty in this AAU stuff from parents and the kids.
I think one of the biggest obstacles for me is when it first started off with, you know, is a lot more the money part, you know, just, you know, raise the money and stuff, you know, people not understanding how much this stuff really costs. You know, they think, you know, you get $300 or something. They think, you know, man, that should pay for everything. And that, you know, it just doesn't. When you start staying in hotels, renting vans, all that stuff, it just doesn't. But, you know, I became much better at my fundraising efforts and stuff like that. And so the bigger challenge for me now is when I first started off, you know, it was like, you know, the Wolves, Ferrari, and the Warriors, as far as, you know, gym shoe teams. Then Tottenham came right after that. So even if they took, you know, the top guys, it was still well than enough more players to split between, you know, me, Chris, and, you know, a few of the other top programs now. Now it's become so inundated with AAU teams. Every time, you know, some kid doesn't get his way, his father starts a team or something like that. So you got so many teams now that, you know, it's tougher to get the quality of kid that I used to get. Because like I said, you know, we all know in the Chicago area, it's more than 40 good players, you know, really good players. So, you know, when the gym shoe team used to get them, I was like, man, it's still plenty of go-getters for me to go get. Now it's not quite like that because it's just so many teams and it's so spread out. So now, you know, you look up and you might have every team have one or two really, really good guys, you know, and, you know, the teams just aren't as competitive now. I think we've done a good job in just playing hard and, you know, competing at a certain level, but it's, you know, it's certain teams now that, you know, it's like tough, you know, to match up with just because I don't get all of the kind of guys I used to get, you know, all on one team.
Like I said, my first teams, man, was different. They was all K-Town, M-Town, Inglewood kids. So my obstacles are a little different than everybody else. I was having to go get them kids from their houses. I'm putting 7 kids in a truck. You know what I'm saying? So keep my kids out of trouble was my main objective, and that was my biggest hindrance. You know what I'm saying? So I had, you know, for my first couple of years, I was sitting in the classroom making sure kids was going to school. You know what I'm saying? I had a kid who had to live with me, not because I wanted him to or not because he necessarily wanted to, but his daddy was dead and his mama got locked up. He ain't had nobody else he trusted. So I'm like, I'm 24, you know what I'm saying, with a 14, 15-year-old living with me. And I'm like, this ain't what I signed up for, but if I'm about the kids, I had to do things like that to make sure that, you know, I was helping them out and them going in the right way. So my obstacles early on was way different than they are now. You know, now I got 10 years in. My demographic a little different. You know, I don't know if y'all feel the same way, but the talent in the city is not what it was 10 years ago and beyond. You know what I'm saying? You can go anywhere usually and find a kid who can really play. Now, you know, it's not, it don't seem like that right now. So that's another one. I'm looking at my teams now. I'm like, I don't have a lot of city kids anymore. That's not by desire. That's just by, man, where our city kids at, you know. So that's a whole nother issue and an obstacle, but those are the obstacles I go through.
I think one thing has changed, you know, is the obstacles that I face is that, you know, watching my father come through the business, you know, and being a part of it back then and growing and seeing it definitely wasn't no 2-parent households at all or 2 parents involved in a kid. It was more like one. And, you know, and then it wasn't too many aunties, uncles, brothers around. They just was more so, man, Mr. Irving, get my kid, get whoever in college, and they left it alone. Now the era didn't change. It's like now you got everybody got a mother and a father now. Ain't no more disappearing fathers. I don't care if the kid is halfway good. Everybody is in their life. Now the brothers and the sisters want to be the father and mother also with the father and mother. So now everybody is trying to latch on to this one kid and, you know, pushing this kid to make it. So when that happens, we dealing with a whole different dynamic now. You're dealing with different kids. Dealing with different, you know, it's you know, like Mike always says, there's no loyalty in it. You know, I'm fortunate enough to be with the Fire, and you know, I got the mentality where I adopt the mentality like the parents and the kids now. I mean, if you don't want to roll with me, fine, go. I'll find somebody else and I'll build somebody else. You know, so I mean, you gotta almost to be in this game, you gotta almost be like them. You know, you gotta think like them, be like them, and never be surprised over no situation. Never be surprised if you're going on a trip and you get a call and you already booked a flight, and then the parent and kids say, well, shit, I ain't going to Vegas. I'm gonna go to Florida. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go there. So I'm never surprised at anything in this game no more because that's what we in, you know. But the thing that keeps me going is the love for it. You know, I'm always gonna stay genuine to it. I'm always feel like I gotta help the kid out. You know, because if it wasn't in my heart, I couldn't be in the game no more. If this ain't in your heart, you can't do it no more because the game has changed 10,000%. You know, you can have the eighth player on your team. He think he a superstar and going to, you know, he think he going to North Carolina and Duke now. And you have his parent, you argue with the parent, and they the eighth player on the team now. You know, it ain't so much can you get my kid in school. It's so much, man, can you send my kid to a Power 5 conference? I mean, it's crazy now. It's crazy. But, you know, through all in all, you know, I'm still for the kids. So all the challenges that we face now, you know, it's challenges, but long as, you know, I just stay genuine to what I'm doing and had a love for what I'm doing. Because if I get caught up in other stuff, I walk away. And you know, because it is a crazy world out here now in the basketball world.
No, I agree. Coach Ty, you want to put your input in?
Yeah, I mean, everybody pretty much said the same. I mean, it's the same stuff that I'm thinking, but it's just an entitlement thing. Like this families. I ain't gonna say just the kids. These parents and kids, they think they're entitled to stuff and they ain't earned it. Like I don't give a like it's the damn rankings. I don't give a damn about no rankings. I want to see if you can play or not. I mean, and they just sometimes they think the challenge. They think they're entitled to something. Like you owe them something, and I just don't agree with that stuff. You got to earn the stuff to get what you want to get. So that's how I've always been, and that's how I've been taught. So that's part of the big challenge. They think if they're on a team, like Mike and them have said, that they should be playing or they should get in this. You owe them this. Like no, it don't work like that. You still gotta earn what you get. So I think it's more entitlement more than anything. But I agree with all what they're saying.
But one thing I would say is that everybody on this call represents Chicago basketball. We all represent it. We're the ones that's in the game. And I tried to even last summer get with some of the programs. I didn't have a chance to talk to Mike, but I tried to talk to some of the programs because we got to find a way to slow these parents and families down. Like, we gotta somehow figure out some structure. We gotta, because it is Chicago basketball. We just can't really say, man, let's just forget it. Because really, what's being hurt is our kids. I mean, when I was coming up, we had more pros in the NBA than anybody because them kids, the way they grew up, they love the game. They had the loyalty to the people, and they want to fight to get better. You can, push them to get better. Now it's hard pushing a kid to get better. And we Chicago, we supposed to have the toughest kids out, So I think it's really up to us to try to figure this out and change the landscape because I don't think we had the most pros in the NBA no more. We don't have that, I mean, and I go back on the call, you look at somebody like super athletic, like a Ty Streets, Ty, if you was in this era, shit, you had 20 AAU teams trying to get you. You played, and your best sport was football. You had, just fighting for no reason. Once the AAU team start fighting, the parent think and the families think that they like super good. Say for instance, Mike Oliver. Mike Oliver was one I grew up and I was a little kid. Mike Oliver was probably one of the smallest dudes I seen jumping out of the gym, and shit, I mean, just think if Mike was in this area at his size, jumping out of the gym like that. You had 20 AAU teams on you. Now the families come involved. Now you can't tell nobody nothing. So we got to figure it out because we Chicago basketball. We have to figure it out because right now it's a mess right now. And we got to figure it out to bring the culture back.
And speaking on that, Mike, you hit something right on the head, man. And that's what it is. It's too many people in these kids' ears. It's too many people telling these kids that they better than what they actually are. I'm saying like so my program is not as big as you guys' program, right? So I get all the kids that, a lot of you guys cut, right? But I pride myself on the player development part, on making these kids college material, right? So you'll get a kid to come in here, he'll start having, some good games, some good tournaments. Then the first thing he holler is, yeah, I'm going to play with the Fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I tell them right away. So I want you to understand the situation that you're going to before you go to it, right? You're going over there, you're competing against better talent than you are here, right? I understand that you want to play the EYBL circuit, but everybody's not EYBL material. Just being honest, right? Everybody's not, I'm saying, 3 stripes material. Everybody's not UAA material, right? So you tell these kids that, and it's like, oh, he hating. Then the parents get involved. It's like, coach don't know what he's talking about. And then they get over there with you guys and they ride in the bench because like, I kind of told you, young fella, like you need to stay here and get developed because it's hard for a coach to, you can't be like, okay, look, you go down there and you work on this because the whole team is doing something different because you're not at this level yet. Like, and that's what kind of happened to you. So when you explain that to parents, they're like, no, well, we talked to this coach and that coach and this trainer. Like, Okay.
Well, one thing we run into, you said they have a few good games and then they come to the fire. Or let's add Mean Streets.
Mean Streets.
All them,
Rose.
yeah, let's add them off, right. They be on players more than me. I mean, but we do, these parents, because they have a good game with you, now all of a sudden the uncle, the sister, the cousin, they're calling us. Oh man, you better see my boy. He play on this AU team. He averaging 59. And we like, huh? Who? I could bring him right away. He's leaving that team. He don't even want to be there. So the stories we getting, it's kind of crazy. It ain't like we making the initial contact. The stories we get with some of these, kids is crazy. I would say that.
Well,
trust me, I know.
Let me tap into that because that's what I tell everybody. Us as AAU guys, Mike ain't never got a call from me about a kid. Ty hasn't. Nobody on this podcast. What people got to understand is, man, like, parents gonna do what they want to do. We not the enemies. We not enemies of each other. Like, I ain't never spoke bad on nobody's name on this podcast and nobody in Chicago because I know what my purpose is. I'm not Mean Streets, I'm not urban. And I ain't trying to be. And that's why I feel like I'm good because I got a niche. If you good enough to play on the EYBL, go ahead. I'd be like, I don't even give you give your 2 cents, but I don't give my 2 cents. Go ahead. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? If you good enough, I'm not going to hold you back because I'm not delusional. That's the highest level you can play in EAU. Facts. Why would I stop a kid who's good enough from doing that? Mike, like I said, Mike will tell none of them ever got a call from me if one of my kids went over there. Go ahead. I'm wishing you the best of luck. And I mean, I really do that. That's why even when a kid leave, I'm still locked in with them because it ain't personal. I ain't taking it personal because guess what? My team starts at 15U. They played with somebody before they came to me. So how can I be mad they leave and go somewhere else? So I think what we need to do for real, is like Mike said, we do need to have more structure amongst the real AAU programs. If we got one of them guys and somebody come correct, I'm not going to stop you. I haven't before and I never will. Because my niche is, if I'm saying I'm in it for the kids, I can't just be in it for the kids when it benefit me. I got to be in it all the way. So go ahead. You're good enough for the EYBL. You good enough for UA. You good enough for Adidas. Go ahead. Now, I know I can get kids to school because we proven that, but that ain't even what it's about a lot of times. It's about ego sometimes. Like, I want to play on EYBL. I'm like, good luck. That shit ain't sweet. Shit ain't sweet.
I think, guys, a lot of you guys don't understand that this is a business. Me and Mike was talking about this at Riverside Brookfield about a month ago. It's a business, and these guys get caught up thinking, well, I'm Adidas, I'm Nike, I'm this. Use this a small portion of the gym shoe companies. And you got to understand, they're making millions and millions of dollars off our kids while we out here fighting over the peanuts. Like I was talking to a guy the other day, how the hell all these teams come past Chicago and go down to Milwaukee and play in that tournament, and they use all the top teams from Chicago to make the team what it is. I'm one of the guys that I don't try to post salt on anybody, but how the hell that we got all this talent in Chicago and we let anybody who want to run a tournament come into Chicago and make money off our kid and I said, we can't go down to Indiana and run shit. We can't go down because them guys they're going to keep that money in Indiana. They're going to keep that. We go to Milwaukee and everything in Milwaukee is ran by Antonio Kurz. And we got the same facility and the same quality of players right here in Chicago that people want to see. And I don't understand. I've been in AAU, but I've never been on that level like Ty and Mike till a couple of years. I had to step out there. But this shit mind-boggling how we let people just come in Chicago and make money off our kids.
Yeah, we ain't talking about going to Vegas or Florida. We talking about going to
Milwaukee.
That's because we can't get together. We can't get together and say, okay, let's do something together. Let's stay united. Because at the end of the day, honestly, I mean, Mike, and I told Mike Oliver this, I mean, man, why at some point we gotta start thinking business and doing something together because these parents don't care about none of us.
No, they don't care about it at all.
They
The
pimping
kid,
all
right.
of
Yeah.
Hell no, they
So
don't.
we got to get together and say, okay, man, let's do a big tournament in Chicago. Let's, but it's going to take a few of us to get together to do it because we can't be here, there, and then, we all over the place and then we trying to do something here. I mean, it's something got to be done. Something got to be
Yeah,
done.
so I'm gonna say this. I appreciate what I'm saying. What Toy do with her Baylor tournaments. Them tournaments, highlight a lot of our Chicago teams. But I feel like again, we went away from the Main Street tournament Ty used to throw every year. We got to get more people in. The Old Gold tournament, the Team Row. I play in both the Old Gold and Team Row tournament every year. I kind of make it my business, and the Chicago Grinders tournament. I kind of make it my business to, support those tournaments. Because Mike can tell you, I call him all the time, like, "Who's Mike? Got to make sure you put us on the schedule. I don't care if I got 5 kids, we gonna come play and support."
Right.
Just because, man, I really think we need to get back to that. Because we got the talent. We just got to keep it home.
Yeah, because I don't think everybody know. I mean, even Antonio Quiro, he got partners, man. I don't think everybody seeing what's really going on out here. A lot of them got together. A lot of them got together.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it ain't them by themselves no more,
Nope.
They all over.
Yeah, they got together and they're about the money, and they end up getting together, It's up to us to say, okay, we're in a major city, one of the largest cities in the world. Shit. And these people all got to come here and do a tournament. I mean, everybody come in here now, So something got to change. It's just how can it change?
If you have a tournament, you say I got Team Rose, Mean Streets, Mac Irvin, Old Gold, Y&R, whoever else a big name, Team Moore. You're gonna get people, and we all pool our resources together. That's a big tournament. We can get any gym we want in the city. That's a big tournament. Now we gotta drive to fucking Minnesota to play each other anyway, or Milwaukee.
Yeah.
What I'm saying? And I ain't trying to isolate nobody. I'm just saying when we going out of town, we taking time away from our families and all that. We ain't making no real money about it. Even if you got a look, somebody throwing you something, it still ain't nothing. It's courtesy money, but like we don't have no real say so, and we gotta leave home to play each other anyway.
Yeah, they definitely gonna make us play each other when we go down there.
Yeah, because they don't want to. They can't have a all Chicago Final Four, so we gotta knock each other out before the championships. So my thing is, why we gotta do all that?
And they got it so sweet now. They're not even doing tournaments. I mean, they just doing pool play. I'm giving you 4 games now. This shit then got real sweet out here for them.
Yeah.
They ain't, you ain't got to do 8 games in a tournament and they paying for referee fees for 8 games. They ain't doing that no more.
You pay them 4 tournament games?
4 games. And that's it. They got home. It's sweet out here now.
Right?
Win, lose, or draw. Your ass is playing 4 games in
4 games. Ain't no championship.
No, it's sweet now. It's real sweet. So we got to figure it out, and I hope one day we do.
Well, shit, the company, they give you money, but they make you spend it right back with them.
Yeah.
They you spend it any kind of way you want. You got to spend it back with them and shit.
Yeah. And they're going to add another 10 or 15 teams because they got you in there.
Yeah, that's the point I was making. That's the point I was making. They pimping us all.
All around the board.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we got to come together, man. That new little Wintrust over there in Bedford Park, real nice, man. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I just got a couple of little tournament itinerary schedules, and it's like 4 different independent circuits playing. They got scheduled tournaments in the Bedford Park tournament in the new Wintrust building already.
And guess what? They get every weekend is booked until the middle of until after the damn near until the winter next year. Mm-hmm. Every weekend is booked. They already came and booked it.
Yeah,
Trust me,
Came
I
book-
know.
Go try to book a tournament in June. Nothing. Go try to
Yeah.
book one in July. Nothing.
I looked at it like,
I'm gonna tell you
everybody
something
playing
that's
the
even
best for first?
crazy. You know the first person that told me about this facility before they even built it? Dino Stragonis. Dino
Yeah,
Stragonis.
exactly.
I'm like,
And
how
he
you
from
know
out of
about
town.
what's going on in our
Exactly.
backyard?
Out of state, yeah.
exactly.
He
That's what I'm
called
talking about.
me and said, "Can you go by there and check it out for me?" I'm what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we just got to stick together because you see, nobody really wants us at the table, and we get pimped. I tell everybody all the time, we let people pimp us all the time because everybody
back
wants
then,
talent.
man.
Everybody want to be entertained, and we got the shows, So
But this is why this podcast is important, man, to get everybody to understand we ain't enemies. We by no means. I tell you all the time, bro. I don't have bad blood with other AU teams. I'm not in competition with them. Why y'all think I'm in competition with them? I'm not in competition with none of them. All I can tell you is what I provide with my program, and that's it. I can't tell you what's going on with Why Not. I'm not in a program. I can't tell you what's going on with Mean Streets. I can't tell you what's going on with Team Rose or Old Gold or the fight. I can't tell you none of that. I'm not sitting behind them doors with anything they got going on. So I can't tell you, yeah, man, this program bad or this program good. I can't tell you that. All I can tell you is what goes on with Team Moore. That's it. I can tell you what I provide, and that's it.
Because
So,
everybody think we all fight. Everybody
Yeah.
think that. Parents think that. The kids think
Right.
that. I tell them, I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting with nobody. Shit, I don't even know. My father didn't come up fighting with nobody. When they had different teams, he always tried to help the team. So that's what I know. I don't want to fight nobody.
So, and the great thing, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I got a great relationship with Jay Brim and Coach Tone. Like when kids come over, like they playing with Jay Brim, and I know they playing with Jay Brim, I'll call Jay like, Jay, this kid reached out to me. I want to make sure I'm saying everything good. But I do that to a lot of coaches too. I want to make sure you good before I tell him, yay, and they'll come to practice. I'm not gonna let me make sure, bro, before I'm saying.
What I say every time.
Yeah, bro, no. If he gonna come over there,
Let him
he
go.
coming, bro.
Let him go.
I just want to make sure, bro. I feel the same way. I'm saying, like, I know, but I had a couple of Fire kids and Mean Street kids over the pandemic they came and play with us. I had J Rock and D Hall and those guys come play with us. Once everything got back rolling, I wanted to call these kids like, hey, you got to come. Man, no, bro. Y'all big enough to go play on them circuits, bro. I'm playing UA Rise. That compares nothing to the EYBL. Like, I can't go compete with that, bro. No, go play. If you're playing, go play. You know what I mean? So, and that's my whole thing. I'm glad we having this podcast because it shows the unity that everybody needs to see that we do have. You know what I mean? Like it shows us that the competition on the court when we see each other is just a competition we competitive. We want to beat each other. There's nothing wrong with that. So we're gonna talk all the shit in the world. We gonna curse, yell. We gonna poke our chest out. That's the competitive nature in all of us. But at the end of the day, after the game, we shake hands, we laugh it up, we talk it out. We look at other kids, other programs. Like, man, that kid could be good. Or I'm saying we just had conversations, just genuine conversation. Like I'm gonna tell you how good a dude like Mike is. Like Mike he didn't know who I was. We sat down at one of the prep hoops tournament. We just chopped it up, like about basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the continuity that I wanted everybody to see with this podcast. Like, man, nah, bro, what y'all parents think y'all got the upper hand, y'all really don't, because we really know. What y'all coaches and kids think y'all got the upper hand, y'all really don't, because we really know, and we really all in with each other.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's just talking to people and stuff. Because when I first started out, Mike used to get on my goddamn nerve and stuff. I started talking to him. I was like, man, they cool. They just talk shit like everybody else and stuff. But once you get to start talking to people, you realize how cool. Man, they even accused me of sabotaging Nick on his third championship, man, in downstate. But the first two times we went and kept him out to 6 a.m, got him drunk, and he went out there and ass off. Last time we didn't take him out, and he went to the house. They were mad, like, why y'all ain't take him out? Y'all messed the routine up. Yeah, but so that's what I think. Just just talking to people. You know what I'm saying? We all like get to speculating that this person doing that person doing that. But once you start talking to most of the other coaches, like you said, everybody's doing it for the same reason. They see these young guys that you might have seen in yourself at some point in time. You want to help try to push them through so that they become successful. I just Googled it, but just successful young black men.
But Chicago is Chicago, man, and I just to get off on the AAU thing for 2 seconds, and I would say, sometimes Chicago can make you mad. Like me, I just played in the Classic this past weekend, and I have a fiance and 2 kids, and I asked both tournament directors for 3 tickets, VIP tickets for my fiance and 2 kids. One, Ty Slaughter never even returned my call, never even returned my text at all. Rob Smith said, well, shit, let me see if I can find you the tickets. Game time come, Rob wasn't able to find the tickets. Ty Slaughter, I didn't hit him, text him, called him again, nothing. And I just said this what's wrong with some of the Chicago, because we do got some wrong here in Chicago. We got some wrong. And I just felt like if I'm coming to play in a tournament and bringing my team there, just out of respect, as much work me and my family has put in to, this basketball, I'm not good for 3 VIP tickets and my team is playing. Ty, did you get your VIP tickets?
I ain't even asked for any VIP tickets, man. I just got in and out. Yeah, but
you just got in.
Yeah,
right.
In and out. So, but you didn't talk to Tyrone about that?
Ty didn't answer my text or phone call. Ty didn't. Rob did answer. Ty Slaughter didn't answer nothing. And then just to show you the type of guy I am, I'm a stand-up guy. And y'all know I can be a nice guy at certain times. I text them both and said, man, appreciate the time in the tournament. Y'all had a good tournament. And, man, we enjoyed ourselves. And I said, man, great win by Rob Smith, great win by you. Ty, you took the first loss, but we know everybody know you got a good team. So you'll bounce back. Everything will be good. Rob Smith said, thanks. Ty Slaughter, nothing. I tried to call him, nothing. Didn't get nothing out of Ty Slaughter. So, it just amazes me how, why it's basketball. You can't, you got to stop being a certain way at some point in time. You got to quit taking things so personal out here, and and we do have some problems with Chicago basketball, and that's one of them, So hopefully we can get over that hurdle with these different people and get over the hurdle,
Hey, Mike and Ty, I'm quite sure y'all probably know. I've been asking this question. It's not a big deal, but I want to know, is that exclusive only for Nike sponsored teams or people who participate in Nike's event? Because I keep hearing that year after year where we don't invite Curry to the Elite Classic because y'all wear Adidas. I'm like, is only Nike teams or is this some bullshit?
I mean, Mike, Ty Streets can answer the
no
question better than me because they ain't gonna talk to me.
There's no way possible that we want to elite teams in the state every year with 3,000 fucking students at Curie, and we don't get invited to the Elite Classic. I'm like, what do you got to do?
Well, let me ask you a question, Mike Oliver. You don't won. You've been had a hell of a year. We've got to respect you. The younger people in the game definitely respect you. And you even had Coach Rob Smith as your assistant coach. You haven't gotten a straight answer?
No, they just always say, well, I'm assuming it's a Nike thing because it's always throw about, well, you Adidas, you rock Adidas. I'm like,
I don't know how true it is. I don't know. Yeah.
Because ain't no way in the hell, and I don't throw salt on nobody's program. You can't tell me Lane Tech and TAP in North London is a bigger name in Chicago.
North London? No. who? Okay, no, that was last week. North Lawndale, what they were? I don't know what they were. That was last
So
week.
what they were, but they played in the
Yeah.
tournament. Taft played in the tournament, and Lane. I'm like, damn. If you saying that we don't bring fans, that can't be true. I always got them crazy ass fans with me. And I'm like, shit, if we play Ore, it's gonna be 300 motherfuckers coming there just want to see me and Luke argue. So I don't understand how the hell I don't get, and I've been asking this question and they keep saying I'm Adidas person. So I thought it was exclusive Nike people.
Yeah, I don't even know. They don't the relationship. I respect both of them guys. So they might not. I don't know how they feel about me, but I don't know really nothing goes on what they do because they don't talk to me. I don't talk to them like that. So I'm not sure.
Oh, well, I respect them. I just thought,
Yeah, I don't know why they don't give straight answers, but I'm sure Ty Streets know.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute.
They're throwing you right in the middle of that, huh, Ty?
I know. Right in the middle. It's the first year I've been there. My team's been in the Classic, so I don't know.
Oh, is it? This is the first year?
This is our first year. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Well, I don't feel so bad then, Ty.
Yeah, I don't feel bad at all.
Ty, this is the first year? Oh,
yeah,
man.
I didn't know that neither. I don't
I
feel
did
bad
not know
now.
that, man. Yeah, don't feel bad. Man.
Mike, you know about it more than I do. You've been in every year.
No.
I only been there when we had Cliff Alexander.
Oh, see, there you go.
All right, there you go. So
Man,
you
I know
the
why I
answer
was in
then.
it. Thank you.
Yeah, you know the answer.
But shit, I've been good.
There's the answer, Mike. You got to get you another 7-footer.
Hey, if that way it take, fuck it.
Yeah.
No, I'm really enjoying this podcast, man. So let's talk about some of y'all accomplishments.
Hey,
what is one of y'all biggest accomplishments?
Hey, Vontae, can I ask a quick question to Mike and Ty before we go on?
Go ahead.
Let me ask y'all something. No, seriously, do you think the EYBL has helped or hindered college recruitment?
You said hurt or hindered it? Helped or hindered it, you mean?
Helped or hindered it recruiting for college coaches?
So I mean on a big scale, like for the big time players, I guess, quote unquote, I think it's good for those guys, people like that, because they're all in one place, and you're gonna have the best Nike programs right in one place. So I think for the big time talent, it's good for them, but maybe for the guys that aren't going to the bigger schools, maybe that's the only I can think of. But I think it's a good thing for the most part.
Yeah, I would say the EYBL. One thing about the EYBL that I learned over year after year after year, that especially if you watching some of the best players in the world at that age group. You do see them. Like you see the 20 out of 30 in the first round. You seeing all the top players in college. You get to see them firsthand up close. So they gave us experience that we really haven't experienced. And, I enjoy watching great players play. I do enjoy that. So I think it helped. And, it shows people where they at. You think you're really good, take your ass out there. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I say this to say, I think you're right. For the Kentuckys and the Dukes and those kind of guys, it really helps them. I think a lot of these mid-major colleges are actually getting fired because they keep running to the EYBL circuit to evaluate talent of guys that they never gonna get. I was at the showcase a couple years ago, and there was a kid from Massachusetts. Man, he probably good as any goddamn kid at the EYBL. 6'7" dude that can get it, Mike. And I know talent. 6'7" kid. And it was only a few coaches there to watch him, and I'm sitting here like, man, somebody could get this kid. And we ain't talking about we had the National Super Showcase, which used to be before EYBL, all the Nike teams and Adidas teams went to there. But now EYBLs, a lot of those teams don't go there no more. But I'm like a mid-major that really started following him could come in and scoop a guy, and he'd be a type that when you playing against a bigger team that's bigger than the mid-major, he gonna go blow for blow with those guys. And I think they miss out on a lot of those guys because they don't go to some of the smaller circuits and don't go to some of the other places that you still got a lot of good players playing at that they miss out on. And I'm not talking about the Kentuckys or the Dukes because they're gonna get what those top guys from the EYBL. I'm talking about, the Loyolas, the UICs, just to saying those in because of Illinois, in the Illinois spectrum. But
Tony, you're not looking at the big picture. I think you're just looking at it from a player standpoint. All them coaches there too, if you look at the landscape of college basketball, they're not staying at them college jobs for no more than 2 years. So they all down there networking too to try to see their next move. Nobody's sitting still. So especially these assistant coaches, they not sitting still. So they, it ain't always about the players. It's about themselves too now.
Yeah, but
so
if you don't get the good players, Mike, your movement might not be up. It might be down.
Well, the assistant coaches, they moving it. They don't. Some of them just don't care. If you go to them EYBL tournaments, you go to a restaurant or you go out to a bar or something, you're going to see all them out there talking to each other and then trying to figure out, can I get my next move, where my next job at? And actually, if you look around, I mean, look at Emmanuel Dilby path, look at the path he took, that's through relationships, and that's just one. I mean, look at Chin.
I get that.
Yeah, look at Chin. Shit, Nebraska, Bradley, UIC, then Illinois, then Kentucky. Yeah.
Hakeem in Florida now. He started off at Howard.
And that started, they get relationships at them events. And that's how they able to move. So, them guys, they benefited from it too.
That's a nice spectrum. I like that question, Coach Tom. So let's talk about some of y'all biggest accomplishments for y'all programs.
I'll go first. I mean, because I've been in it the least amount of time. Man, I mean, just the fact that we've been able to send as many kids to Division I as we have in a short amount of time. I think we had 38 in the last 10 years. Well, it really ain't 10 years. We only hit a 17U for 6 years. It's about to be our 6th year with a 17U. So we got 38 guys. I think like 29 of them still playing Division I right now. So for me, that's what I hang my hat on, that type of stuff. I don't care about the wins and losses as much as who getting the opportunity to play in college and get degrees. Some of them getting master's degrees now. And it's kind of coming back full circle. You know what I'm saying? Some of them still playing, getting a couple dollars overseas. And some of them looking for their next stop. So, that's my favorite accomplishment, is helping, just being a part of that little journey and helping them get to their next, the next stop in the road.
Yeah, this is you about to talk, Mike? Oh, here we go. This time, I say the biggest accomplishment is like when people come back and give back to the community. People that I've coached, we've come through the Main Streets program. Because I ain't gonna lie, most of these, some of these dudes don't give back, don't come back. So when you're able to touch a kid that way, as far as knowing what they're supposed to do, come back to the community and help out, come back and coach, come back and just mentor these kids. I mean, just let them know it ain't about them. It's about coming back doing the same thing that we trying to do. So you got a kid like Jerome McNeil, our first Main Streets team, when I first started in 2001. Now he's come back and he's coaching his high school. He's come back and helping Main Streets, and he's taking these kids, taking them places, working them out for free, telling them about life, about finances, stuff like that. And that's huge to me. That you finally got people that's willing to do that. That's smart. That's came through the program. And like I said, y'all know more than just like I do. These motherfuckers don't give back. Some of these motherfuckers don't give back at all. So I think that's what it's all about. You get people like that in a program that know they got to come back and do their job, man. We want to get this shit from Chicago, all this bad shit that's going on in Chicago. We got to help these kids out, show them the way, and that's what it's all about. Not about national titles and all that shit. It's about having these kids knowing when they become adults, do the same thing we trying to do. And maybe we can help get this shit straight in Chicago or Chicago area. But if people don't get back, it ain't gonna happen. So that's I think that's one of my major accomplishments is seeing my kids, especially my first group, come back and help out. And then hopefully it trickles down to the next group and the next group. So we'll see. I mean, it ain't easy. Some of these kids, they get Hollywood on us. And y'all know. I know Mike Irvin.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's what it is, man, in my opinion.
I think accomplishment, something like Ty was saying, is it ain't all about the ones who make it to the NBA. It's all about the ones who come back and help. So that's a big accomplishment to me. Like I just turned on, I just got a text from one of my former players who just made the Forbes list. Alex Nesbitt. He come out our program, went to Harvard. He just made the Forbes list. He got to be under 25 or 26, whatever. Alex, young kid. And he always checking on the program, always coming back. Seeing how the program do, even watching his little brother come through the program. So stories like that is what I look forward to hearing. Like a Miles Reynolds who was part of the Chicago Elite Classic this week. And doing other things besides basketball, because I think them goals are more reachable than trying to get to the NBA. And most of these guys, like, I understand what Ty's saying. They don't want to reach back and give back. For some reason, I just don't know if it's in a heart, because I don't know where most of these players get it from, because you come through one of our programs with most of our programs, we taking care of that and we giving back to you to get there.
Right.
And that's one thing I never understood. If we giving back for you to get there, how you say, oh man, I ain't giving back to no kids no more. And it ain't all about the money. Come donate your time. Come do something. So I have had some guys who come back, but I had a lot of them who just, who they see you, they would say what's up, laugh, smile with you, but they don't have, they not trying to get back to the kids. So accomplishment is when I see an old player come back and give back to the kids.
Yep, I agree.
It's a kind of a mixture of everything. It's a mixture of, the helping getting so many kids in school. A lot of times we dealing, I'm getting kids that, may not have got to school without the ability of somebody pushing them in that corner and stuff and trying to get them. They may not be to a Duke or something like that, but just getting them to a school at a level where they can play. And to piggyback on Ty Street's comment, just the guys coming back, man. Right now I think, I got probably doggone dang near double-digit kids that play for us coaching somewhere, and I'm like, it'd be funny to me because they used to hate when I fussed at them, and I when I hear they coaching, I'm coming to sit right behind their bench to see what they
right.
What kind of coach y'all about to be? Y'all gonna let all the stuff go that y'all didn't want? Y'all wanted me to let y'all do? So it'd be all funny and stuff. But I got quite a few guys. You guys know some Ewell and Lane Barlow and all those guys coaching now and stuff. So it's that's kind of thing. I think the biggest thing is just with my program building the culture of family and stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's so many of these guys come back and they just want to come into practice. They want to work out. Hey, coach, can you get an open gym so we can bring the old guys back in? Whatever it is. So it's the feeling of family that goes beyond the basketball part of it and stuff. Because like I tell all of them, that basketball gonna stop bouncing eventually. Then later. Even the most pros, the basketball stopped bouncing by about 35, 36. You got plenty of years after that. And so many of these kids, and I'm sure you guys got them on your teams that, they build these lifelong friendships, guys that may have never met each other. Now they become best lifetime friends and stuff. That's the amazing part that I like seeing and stuff, guys that may never have met each other. Now they lifelong friends, and it comes through AAU. So, it's been a great experience for me, but like I said, my biggest thing is, culture. We played against a lot of the best teams, beat a lot of the best teams, beating teams we probably shouldn't have beat, So, I mean, that part of it is great, but, the family culture and God, when I do see the guys coming back to coach and give back, it make me feel like at least I got through to them a little bit, or they remembered some shit I said when I think they not listening, but they actually are listening and stuff. And I could tell they be listening because I hear them mocking me with, some of the silly shit and said they mocking me in my voice saying it. I'm like, okay, they listening and stuff. But yeah, it's been fun for me. So, I have no regrets. So you old man.
Well, I would cut in and just say one thing too. Maybe a lot of them don't come around, and maybe we have a problem with a lot of people because sometimes they probably want to just be us, and sometimes since they want to be us, they might not even want to come around. Shit, man, we got a lot of people want to be in our shoes, man.
Them shoes big though. I don't think people understand that.
Man, hey, look, every parent, every brother, cousin, uncle, shit, everybody, man.
Yeah, I didn't tell people, even in my program, you don't like what you can start your own program, and you let me know how you do it. You do it over there, and let me know how that go. I'm telling you how this is gonna be in my program. You do what you're gonna do, and let me know how that go. You charge what you gonna charge. Let me know how it work out for you. From you, Coach.
We waiting on your response, Mike Oliver.
Oh man, well, my thing is piggyback on what a lot of them guys say, Mike and Ty, man. It's the guys who got an opportunity to give something back and they don't. Everybody think, well, man, why should we have to do anything? You sponsored by Derrick Rose. No, man, it's not like that. It ain't like Derrick just opening up the checkbook and writing wherever you want. But everything little thing help. Like they say, if it ain't nothing but your time, man, just help driving kids to road trips or just working some kids out. You could give some back because people have paved the way for you. And a lot of them guys forget, man, that where they came from. I ain't had some guys that in my 30-year coaching that even coaches that we are helped down the line, they'll jump up in a minute and say, well, shit, you ain't did shit for me. If such and such one did this, I wouldn't have been well, shit, I'm the one who introduced you to such and such person. So you got a lot of guys, man, that do give back. But the biggest thing I'm proud of, man, when these kids go get that degree and they get opportunity in real life, man, because like you said earlier, Tom, when that ball stopped at 33, 34, and for some earlier than that, what they do after basketball, and a lot of them is lost, man. I see a lot of guys who play at that high level of high school basketball, then go to college, and they come back. I'm looking at them like 25, 26. Damn, what the fuck going on? You look like you about 40. You getting high, or, you don't have no love of the game. But a lot of these kids don't understand, man, that what we provide them is just like an opportunity. And I always tell the kids, hey, man, I'm just a promoter, man. All I could do is put you on stage. You got to perform. A lot of them guys feel that we betray them if they don't get that Division I scholarship. And I always tell them, you didn't play in front of 100, 200 coaches in 4 years, especially in AAU and high school. If you was a Division I player, somebody would have offered you a Division I scholarship. So a lot of the kids, man, they don't want to hear the truth. But the ones who really want to hear the truth, they come back, they show you some love. So I'm proud that we just get an opportunity, man, get these kids to college, get them an opportunity, get a degree and start a family, man. Basketball is a small portion of life I'm worried about. I'm worried about after basketball.
And I agree. I'm just, my accomplishment, like I said, we haven't been in it long, but our last 2 years, we sent 100% of our seniors to school on scholarships. And like I tell people, it's not Division I. I don't post a lot of our kids going to school because I'm not in it for that. I'm in it for, I got you in school. I don't need to be bragging about that's for you. It's not for me. It's for you. That's what it is. It's for you. It's not for me. It's for you. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm at with it. So the last 2 years, we got 100% of our seniors in college for free. So that's my biggest accomplishment.
Hey,
So big
hey, can I say
the
one thing,
UAC.
Bronson?
Yes,
Can I
sir.
say one thing before we get out? One thing I do want to bring up, and especially with all the guys on the podcast, we got to figure out a way. Once we get these kids in the school, I know we can just say, hey, we got you there. You know, we got to get them into that type of mentality where they're able to stay. You know, it's a big knock on Chicago kids right now, not once they're going off to school, not being able to stay in those schools, either coming back home or transferring. And if you start looking at that, man, we have a lot of kids that end up either transferring or coming back home once they get there. I don't know if it's because the expectations were different, they went to a level higher than his, but we have to, you know, try to find a solution so that we do get our kids off there, that they're able to stay at the places that they go to. And I think it starts with the mindset of, like Ty said earlier, you know, some of the kids still go to those colleges with a sense of entitlement, thinking, okay, I'm so-and-so and so-and-so. Then, you know, that coach gets some kid from Bubblefuck, Nebraska that's going to run through the wall whenever he wants to. And he's the one out there playing because you think you too cool to take them 4-5 charges that he taking and stuff like that. I think we got to work really harder on, you know, myself, everybody, just getting them into that mind frame where they understand that what you're about to embark on is a privilege. Not everybody getting this privilege, and not everybody's earned this privilege, but you got to keep treating it like it's privilege all of your 4 years so that you stay there and not, you know, be coming back here or talking about the coach mistreat me, so I'm transferring here. You end up 3 schools worse than the school you was at and stuff. We got kids from Chicago, 4 schools in 4 years. Y'all all know I'm not lying, but we just got to try to figure out a way to, you know, get a different mindset with our kids once they go to these schools, that they're able to stay there and succeed at those schools that they get to.
Our kids fucking spoiled, man. Our kids are spoiled, man. We spoil them guys, man. So when they get to college and they have to compete, they ain't used to it, man. Like a guy told me, a guy from down south, he said, man, damn, I see so much high school sports on TV up in Chicago area. We only get the newspaper once or twice a week. So that's the only exposure our kids get, is once or twice in the newspaper. Shit, for a while, they were talking about high school basketball players more than it was the Bulls and the college teams. Mm-hmm. We allow these kids to rank out, let anybody come and tell our kids they the number 1 player in their class, they the number 1 sophomore, number 1 freshman. So when they get to college and the real world hit them, that shit, well, this motherfucker from Missouri, he's the number 1 player in Missouri. This motherfucker from Alaska could play too. Now, let's roll the ball out and start competing. And they don't want to compete because we put them on a pedestal so early that they don't feel they could. They have to work for what they get.
Like, we got people talking about, man, he the number 1 5th grader in the country. Man, who the hell out here ranking all the goddamn 5th graders?
Hey man, it's a business. They ranking everybody. Hey, it's a business because somebody gonna pay for the. They gonna pay for the. They gonna pay for the ranking. Yeah, it's a business.
Yeah, they gonna pay for them subscriptions, bro.
Yeah, they gonna pay for them, boy.
All right, so my last question of the night for you guys, man. So the reason why we on this podcast is because this United Against Cancer All-Star event. I want to hear y'all thoughts about the event.
I'll start off. I think it's a good deal to bring awareness to it. You know, it's still one of the diseases that, you know, is stricken in our communities and stuff, and they really haven't, you know, got the proper research on it to, you know, fight it like they should. So I mean, it's a good thing to bring the awareness to it so that, you know, people can, especially like with the breast cancer, get their mammogram screens and all that type of stuff. Because sometimes, you know, especially in our communities, we take it for granted and stuff, and don't, you know, I know it's men, and I'm one of the worst at it. We don't even properly go to the doctor. You know, we don't probably go to the doctor until we damn near about dead and stuff. So, you know, just making people aware of that, and, you know, harping it in and out there is a very good thing.
I agree. I agree with him. I'm big on the fight against cancer. Just like probably everybody else on here, lost some close loved ones to cancer. Lost a grandmother and a cousin that was only a few years older than me. So it's hit me at home. And I salute you for even, creating the event. It's something for the kids to think about too, because a lot of our kids think they're invincible. So it's good for them to, stand for something other than to stop the violence stuff. Is cancer probably taking more lives than guns. I don't know the numbers on it, but I would, if you had 10 people, I'm almost ready to say I'm positive that all 10 of them lost a loved one to cancer. So I think it's a great idea. I think it's gonna keep growing every year. You just gotta stick with it.
Yeah, just bringing awareness to the cancer situation, doing the event around it, definitely, that's good because, like you say, we don't have too many events here. We have maybe one or two, but making it happen, that's good too. Because cancer, it's in our Black community. It's definitely here. So bringing awareness to it, many ears, people listening as possible, bringing awareness to it is great.
Y'all said it all. I agree. Just last year and a half, my mom died of cancer, so I know all about it. So yeah, we got to keep bringing awareness. Like Tom say, like I'm at the age now that I need to go get screened and all that, but I'm scared to do it. But I'm gonna have to. But that's our problem. We, like, as black males and females, we're afraid to go to the doctor and get checked up. We got to bring more awareness. Sometimes we can go and it can prevent the most severe cases. So I think we got to do it. Keep bringing awareness. You're doing a great job. So this is a great thing.
Yeah, man. So the crazy thing about this how this even came about. I don't know if any of y'all know why this came about, but I was in the middle of playing overseas in Beijing, right? And I come home and I just wasn't feeling well, right? And I had some episodes happen. Like all of you guys said, like I was afraid to go to the hospital. I'm good. I'm a wait till before I'm saying I'm good. I stick it out until I leave. I'm sure I'll be fine before I go back. And it got to the point I was just too sick. So I'm like, let me go check myself out before I get on this plane to go back and finish my season. And I ended up getting the news. I ended up having stomach cancer. And at that moment, bro, my life just, like, everything dropped. Like, what I worked so hard for in my life came to a halt because if anybody knows, like everybody said on here before, basketball is a business. And, I knew for a fact once I was diagnosed with cancer, a lot of teams weren't going to take that risk of even signing me to deals that was even worth me playing overseas. And I'm not going to lie to y'all, man. I said in one of my podcasts, my first 2 to 3 months, I probably didn't even come outside. Like, as a grown man, I cried a whole lot because I was hurt because the thing that kept me afloat my life was putting the round thing in the hole. And to have it stripped away from me abruptly, it hurt me. And it hurt me a lot. So and that's kind of why I started Team More, because what I'm saying, I was a full package for a long while, like in college and everything. But I had to, get a job with the Park District. And then I started getting kids to come in from the neighborhood and just come in to open gyms. And I started training them. And I was taking them out to full package to, go play games. But full package is expensive. So I'm like, you know what? I'll use my own funds for funds I saved up from playing overseas. And I'll just put you guys in tournaments. Excuse me. I'll buy you guys jerseys and we'll just go from there. And that's how I started Team More. But not being able to play basketball and having it taken away from me, like it was just eating at me. And then Steph Hanna was like, he's a real good friend of mine. Like I talk to Steph Hanna all the time. He's like, bro, you need to tell your story, bro, because your story is going to be big for somebody who's battling this cancer, because you're doing all of that you're doing in the community and you're battling this illness. Like people don't even understand. Like I was like, my cancer got bad enough where they gave me 6 months to live. So he's like, man, bro, like you're doing, like at no point in time did you say, bro, they gave me 6 months to live, I'm gonna live my life. You gave back to the kids, you gave back to the community, you never shied away from continue to give back. Like you did even more. And I'm like, you know what? I'll do a little showcase, you know, the regular stuff, and I'll just do a showcase, right? So I ended up getting the United Center or whatever, and I was gonna do like a little men's showcase. But here's what happened. So I had talked to Wolf, right before they made the McDonald's All-American game selections. And he was so high up on, he just knew he was gonna make this game, right? And when he didn't make it, and the hurt and the agony that I saw in this kid's face, it kind of did something to me. And I'm like, you know what, Steph? I'm not gonna do nothing with the adults, right? Because I'm really not, I really don't focus on the adults, right? I want to do something for the kids. So I started calling all the big time kids or whatever you want to call them. I want to put an all-star game together and, you know, just make it an all-star event. And that's kind of how it came about. It was like, I felt some type of way that these people come into our city, like we talked about earlier, they throw these tournaments, they come in with the McDonald's All-American game. Like the McDonald's All-American game is here this year, and we probably get one kid to play in the McDonald's All-American game, and this is not our backyard. Like, how we just come in here, you like, you know what? We're not gonna have none of y'all involved. We're not gonna get none of y'all on staff. We're not gonna do nothing for y'all. We're just gonna be in y'all city, and we're gonna expect y'all to pack out these gyms and pay for these tickets to come see these players from all over the country except your city. So I'm like, you know what? I'll do one better. I'm gonna create this game and I'm gonna give it the McDonald's All-American game feeling. I'm not gonna go and do something like where we're gonna get reversible jerseys or t-shirts. I'm not gonna give anybody else what they do with their all-star event. But I really honed in on, I want to give this that authentic All-American game feel for our kids here. So my first year, like Jay Brim will tell you, like I had the United Center, I was gonna pack it out, but COVID happened. So last year, we had it at the Hammond Civic Center. A lot of people didn't support it, man. A lot of people they made their kids go to practices and schedule tournaments and all that other kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, bro, to sit in that gym and watching something flourish like it did, and watching a bunch of these kids play and have fun and watch how their eyes lit up, like I paid for the entire event out of pocket. You know what I mean? Like they went bowling, they had pizza, we went and got a Greater Purpose Athletics. I went and bought pizza then. Like it was just, I wanted to make them feel like all their 4 years they put in meant something. You know, so and that's kind of how this got to where it is, man. And I wanted to continue to grow. Like I want you guys to be a part of it. Like I could have been selfish and be like, you know what? I'm gonna get all my team more staff, and we're just gonna put on an event, right? Because last year was the More Against Cancer All-Star event. But again, I wanted to be us thing. You know what I mean? I wanted to be, you know what I'm saying, with Mean Streets involved, the Fire involved, and Team Rose involved. Like I wanted it to be something that we bought together for the city, that we coming and we showing our face. Like, look, this is our community. This is us. This is us. Y'all not gonna come in here and dictate on how we manage our kids, bro. Y'all not gonna come in here and run our business for us. This is us. We don't need y'all. We got us. And that's kind of why I looked at it, man.
It's a good story, man. Real good story. But you can
Appreciate
count
it.
me in. Whatever you need on my end, you can count me in.
Likewise.
Yep. You know, I'm always trying to support everybody as much as I can, man. So, you know, anything I can do, let me know, Vontae. Yeah, but I was one of the ones that did know what was going on with you, and I was,
Yeah.
and you know, it was times I might shoot you a text, but then you know, even at my age, you just don't be knowing what to say sometimes. You know, you know, you're like, man, what do I say to make bro feel a little better and stuff? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I'll just shoot a text, man, what up, dog? You know, so just let you know we thinking about you and stuff. But yeah, you know, and I think you're doing great with as far as, you know, your confidence and your, you know, ability to just keep trucking on and stuff and not even listening to what them doctors say, because they've been wrong before and they definitely have been wrong now.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. You know, Mean Streets, we support too.
Appreciate it.
I'm with you, boy. You know I'm with you. I just gotta
Yeah.
get the staff. Main Street taking my whole staff.
Here we go.
Man, hey,
What the hell you eating, Mike?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Every time I look up, it's a new coach on the Mean Streets and the fire staff.
The fire staff. Yeah, it is. Crazy.
Oh my God, bro. Ain't gonna be nobody left.
Hey, so you know
what? Baby.
They're trying to smoke us out, man.
I said,
no.
these guys are switch up the strategies on us.
Don't get the players
after the kids.
They're
going after the coaches.
I guarantee.
Then the coaches will bring the kids anyway.
I guarantee you, me and Ty really don't even know what be going on. We at the top. These are brilliant assistant people coming to us with these great ideas, and all these people, man. Shit, they got a great idea.
I said, they ain't even going after the kids no more. They going after the coaches. Damn, that's smart.
No, man, I appreciate all y'all, man. I'm looking forward to the event. For sure. I know March 25th, I believe that's the date.
March 25th?
Yeah, no, so the game is March 26th and 27th. But
March
for
26th.
us, let me see. I'm gonna tell you the exact date. Nope, March 24th. So March 24th, March 25th is gonna be it's gonna be the kids' media day and all that stuff. And I got a little silent party I'm doing for them and everything. But
so March the 24th is the date.
No. So listen, gotta listen.
Okay.
One time you gotta listen, Mike.
All right, I'm listening.
Now, March 24th, man. I'm gonna do a get together with all of us, the staff for the board members for the UAC game. We're gonna the media people. We're gonna all get together and have a few laughs and everything. We gonna de-stress before we re-stress, because you know that weekend is that All-Star event, and then everybody on here that following weekend right into AAU season, right? So we gonna de-stress. We gonna kick it. We gonna go to dinner in the movie. I rented it out.
And where would the event be at?
Dinner in the movie on 25 North Ashland in Lincoln Park.
Hey,
you're not gonna be in the hood.
Hey, Mike Irvin, before we get off here, man, I gotta dispute something you said that wasn't really factual earlier.
What's that?
You said you ain't like to fight. The couple times we was about to pop y'all ass off, y'all avoided that ass with my starting the fight.
I said everybody know I got a good side to me now. I got a bad side, but I got a good side too.
Oh man, dude, you know I know that, man. I love the Irvins, man. Y'all keep me laughing.
But now I appreciate everybody. This is a great podcast, man. It's gonna be on the YouTube channel, so y'all can share it with y'all people. Cause I know they gonna want to see this and want to hear us talk about all the fun stuff, man. But again, I appreciate you guys. This is a great podcast. I hope to see everybody at the All-Star event, March 26th and 27th at Thornton Fractional North. Live in front and center, man. Mike, you get your VIP tickets, bro.
All right, man.
wow.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, thanks for getting it together, Vontae.
Thanks,
hey, Mike, I'm gonna tell you who got a text for your VIP tickets though.
Who?
Rob.
Rob. Well, at least Rob would tell you. I mean, shit, the other one ain't gonna say shit.
Rob a board member, bro. So you got to text Rob.
Yeah, Rob. Right. At least Rob will talk to you. The other one, boy, he gonna go disappear.
So you got to text Rob. I'm like, Rob, Tay said I'm getting some VIP tickets.
All right, cool.
Hey, Mike, just an honest question. Do you think this podcast gonna make it better?
Yeah, the podcast make it better.
No, I'm talking about with you. I'm talking about with you and him.
With me and who? Ty Slaughter?
Yeah.
Hey, look, Ty Slaughter, long as he stay up under Ty Streets, I'm fine. Because Ty Streets my boy, so long as he up under Ty Street, Ty Slaughter be okay.
you can't help yourself, can you, Mike? You just can't help yourself, can you?
I appreciate y'all, man. Eric Court said good stuff from the Grandest.
Yeah.
All right.